accuracy in the Hunter class. Again, very nice characters to use, but I would not recommend them for beginners. I will now select the hero role, and I will now just show you some of the options we can customise. The face, so this changes the eyes, the colour and style. For this one I'm going to go for the big green eyes. I think that will suit her. Hairstyles. Obviously as you select each one you may have to wait a bit for it to load. There's quite a few to choose from, there's 10 in total. I'm going to go for number 4 here. If you hold control you can rotate your character to see what it looks like from a different angle. And below you have your 3 primary colours. You can obviously mix them to get the colour you want. I'm going to have white hair, I think, for this character. Now, for the costumes, you have 2 options of each colour. Up and down change the style between the costumes, whereas left and right changes the colour and the style. So there's quite a few to choose from. I'm going to settle for this one. I think it's very battle ready, very professional. Skin colour you can go from 4 very dark to 1 very pale. And you can see it's down. I'm going to stay with number 3. I think it suits her. Proportion, short and fat, muscly, small, big, you can have anything you want here. I'm going to go for the standard tall and skinny look. So I think it looks the least ridiculous on a female, in this game anyway. The character name. Now, this is important because you have to like your character name. You don't get to change it at any point in the game. You're stuck with it. So for this character, obviously, as this is an introductory video, I'm going to have my character's name as Expert Game. You then get given a section ID. Now this is important because different IDs enable you to get different weapons and different armours throughout the game. There are quite a few. Pink Owl is what I've been given. Pink Owls are best at finding canes and things for forces. Wouldn't recommend it for a first character, but I'm not going to bother too much with that now because I know that if I find canes and things for forces, I can put them in my bank, and then when I create a new character at some point I can then transfer those things over. So I hit enter, and finally it connects us. Okay, right, now we're on the ship select menu. We have a choice of 2, Stanfield and distance. Now it's always good to go onto the ship with the least amount of players. So distance, and block 2 is the most infrequently used block. Okay, now first thing to do is to hit home on your keyboard, which is currently the start menu. Okay, you need to hit options and then hit keyboard config. Now if you scroll down to custom at the top, you can now change your movement, your attack if you feel necessary. So if you press enter on custom, you have currently forward, backwards, left and right set as W, S, A and D, which in my opinion is probably the best because your attack, if you hit right, is set at left, right and down. It just makes it a lot easier to have your left hand moving and your right hand attacking. You could prefer it the other way around. I'm left-handed, I don't think it makes a difference, but it's just the way I prefer it. The only thing I suggest changing really on here is symbol chat, because if whilst you're facing enemies you hold control and press the symbol chat open button, it brings up a little quick menu in the corner which enables you to cast spells, change your weapon without going through the entire start menu. So very useful. I will change it to Z as it's near the control button. It makes it a lot easier for me to hit them both in the combination. It's worth taking note that the camera is up. Basically, if you face one way, so you face behind you, obviously you can't see behind you, you hit up and it switches the camera around. You may feel like it's a good idea to experiment with that before you go out to face enemies. Okay, once that's sorted, you hit home again and you're back into the lobby. So what we need to do is obviously take note of all the other players that are around us. We go up to the counter and talk to the lady here. Now, if we hit Organise Party now, we have the option to either join an existing party or create a new one. If we hit Join, just to show you, we have all the parties that are currently in progress. We have the name of the party, we have the episode they're playing on, we have the difficulty and how many people are in that lobby. There's a maximum of 4 people per lobby. The ones that are blacked out are because either they're in a mission, once a mission's been started, no one else can join the game, or the difficulty is too much for our level. As you can see, very hard. At level 1, you can only get onto normal. The padlocks on the left hand side basically show that the games have been passworded, so unless you can either guess or you know party's password, you're stuck on the outside looking in, really. So we're going to create our own party. Okay, we have the choices of episode 1, episode 2 and episode 4. I will show you all of these episodes in time, but the enemies get harder depending on what episode you're on. So episode 1 is the one we really want to be on at level 1. The party name and passwords, it can be anything at all. The password is only there obviously so no one else can get in the game, or so that you can tell a friend the password that he or she can join your game. Okay, you then choose your play mode and difficulty. Now bear in mind there's only one of us, so we don't want to be on normal because the enemies there are designed for more than one person and it'll be too hard for us at level 1. So we'll select one person mode so that the enemies are slightly weaker so that we can kill them on our own. The difficulty we're actually only able to do normal at the moment because we're level 1, but we have the option of normal, hard, very hard and ultimate. This is pretty much the only thing that's capped in the game. You can't access hard mode until you're level 20, very hard mode is level 40 and ultimate is level 80. There is 200 character levels. I've been playing this game for years and I've never made it to level 200, so if anyone does, please let me in the secret. Okay, so once you've sorted all your settings, you can hit registration and you will be warped into what's called the Hunters Guild. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick tour of Pioneer 2, which is basically the starship that we're based on. Here is the Hunters Guild. As you can see, basically this warp here sends you back to where we came, back to the lobby, back to the desk. Okay, this desk here is where we accept missions. If you talk to the lady behind the counter, basically you have the options of missions here, what kind of mission you want. If we hit extermination, basically endless nightmares. On the right it tells you what it consists of, exterminate all the monsters. If you complete the mission you will receive Meseta, which is money, based on performance, so it's worth doing when you've got some free time. Okay, now we're exiting there. Directly ahead of us, you've probably guessed, is the hospital. At the cost of 10 Meseta you can fully heal your health points and your TP. Okay, as we progress down here, we have a warp here. If you walk into it and hit enter, this is the principal's office. Just so you're aware, the hearts are surrounding the screen because it's an online server. It's recently been Valentine's Day and they've not actually updated this server yet and took it down. Okay, this is more for the GameCube version. The principal's normally there would be a principal standing there who you could talk to, who will integrate you a bit more with the very little story there is in the game.